Creating a habitat for your ball python is presented by Timberline. From nature to you.
We'll start with the substrate. We'll put the substrate in the bottom.
Okay, and what is this substrate?
This is a type of hardwood chip that's been processed. It's absorbent, and that helps pull the moistures if the animal happens to go to the bathroom. You can use this, or there's many other types that you can use. The only caution, when you feed the animal, you don't want him ingesting different particles.
Okay, well, is a ball python a burrowing animal? Will he burrow in this?
Yes, they like to burrow and they like to hide. We're going to talk about that in just a few minutes when we get to the hiding places. They do like to burrow and look around and search, and that's what makes a ball python happy. They're always flicking their tongue out, picking up particles and depositing them in the Jacobson's organ in the roof of the mouth. That tells them what things feel like, smell like, taste like, and it's a combination of these different items that make them happy. They feel secure. They understand where they are. That's why it's good to hold a ball python, and if he wants to put his tongue all over you, that's fine. He needs to pick up signals from you as well as his home.
Okay, so what's next?
Well, the next thing I think we would do is we'll put a water bowl in one corner, and we always do this opposite the heat source. So whatever side we put that on, we'll put the heat source on the opposite end. The reason for this is we try and create a heat gradient. If you create a heat gradient, the animal can make a choice. They're programmed by instinctive wisdom. And what happens is if they get too hot, they know turn and go the other way. But if you have the heat source in the middle or all across the bottom or all across the top, they have no place to go. They'll panic. So having it on one end, they have a choice. If they get too cool, they come back to the warm area. If they get too warm, they'll turn and go to the cool area.
Okay, and then what will we add?
The next thing I think we'll do is we'll go ahead and add a heat source. We'll use a heating pad.
Okay.
And we'll put this, again, opposite the water bowl.
This is, obviously, it's plugged into standard
outlet here in America, and it stays on all the time. It usually gives heat of about 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and after it transfers through the glass, it's about 90 degrees. And then the substrate picks up a few more degrees from that. It ends up at a very comfortable temperature. An alternate source would be a bulb from above. Sometimes that's good, sometimes it's not. Or a heating stone. Now, a lot of heating stones are called sizzle stones or hot rocks, and it sounds like they're really too warm. Make sure the warming device that you buy that is in the shape of a stone ends up at 100 degrees Fahrenheit. That's what it should be. Anything higher than that is too warm for the animal. At 100 degrees, we've never seen burning. And again, that should be opposite the water. But this time we're using a heating pad.
Okay, so now we have our substrate, we have our water dish, we have a heat source, and then what?
Well, the next thing we're going to do is a hiding place. You can use one made out of stone or some other material, or wood. Wood is very natural. They like the feel of it, and they like to rub against it when they're doing their shedding. Now, this one is too small for this animal. He'd need a bigger one like this, which means you would need a bigger aquarium, and obviously he would. But for this size snake, this is absolutely perfect for him. And they need to be able to hide. In the wild, they hide under roots of trees, holes in the ground, under rocks, stumps, and things like that. And they feel very, very secure. And if you look at a ball python very closely, you can probably see it better on this one, they have little holes in the top of their jaw. Those are heat sensors. They can detect 1/500th of 1 degree Fahrenheit. As a human, we have trouble feeling the difference between 1 degree Fahrenheit. But they can break it down to 500 parts and feel the difference. They use that when they're hiding. They curl up, and then they face the entrance, and if something like a rodent walks by and gives a heat signal, they'll pick it up. Snakes don't have eyelids, so the way they sleep is they go into a trance and they slow down. But when they pick up the heat signal, the tongue will come out, pick up particles, put it in the roof of the mouth, which is the Jacobson's organ, and it'll tell them it's a rodent. Then the whole body goes into action, and they start their classic S shape and slowly move towards the animal, and their head will go from left to right, picking up heat signals, and in complete darkness, they can find the animal dead center. They know the range and exactly where he's positioned. So it's very important to give them a hiding place so they feel like they're at home.
Most of the time, when we feed a ball python, will he capture his prey outside and then bring it into the hide?
No, usually they smell the animal, follow the animal, and wherever they constrict the animal, that's where they're going to consume it.